What's up, freaks? This is the next module in the Freak Father Alliance onboarding course, and we're going to go into the what I call the Freak Father Peak policy. This is just what's expected of you in the weekly calls. You know, we have weekly calls at set times, and you always get the recordings of those calls if you can't make it live. But when it comes to these calls, I just want to go a quick, brief kind of way for you to show up and think of how to approach these calls and how you should be thinking about these calls. So let's jump right into it. It's roll right there on the screen, but I want you to kind of actually hear it. So these mentorship calls and preparation that you should have is first, obviously, be on freaking time, because there's nothing worse than going into an intro, starting things off, and then you pop in. And I understand sometimes you're busy. Like, we have a set time for this call. It's not going to be suitable for everyone. So sometimes you have to come in after it started because you got caught up on a sales call. I understand how business works. I know it could happen, but just jump in when you can if it's late. But obviously, always try to be on freaking time. Get in there. And when you're there on time, show up prepared, mentally and emotionally prepared, like with a positive attitude, maximum energy, and just open-minded, ready to put in the deep work, ready for deeper thinking, and to be maybe asked tough questions, ready to be put on the spot, ready to make contributions and help out, and even have some solutions to maybe another individual's problems that they come into the group with. But also show up with your own questions, show up with your own struggles, and every week always we'll go through kind of the process of what the call looks like, but show up prepared for every call. If you can't make it, usually let me know ahead of time. Just send a quick message or a post in the community that you can't make it. Just 'cause I always want to have a good idea of how many men we're going to be in there, because we're very interactive. So it kind of determines sometimes the approach we're going to use and the implementation strategy we're going to use in the call. So always just let me know ahead of time. But as you know, the calls are always recorded. If you miss the live call, which you should always try not to, but I understand how it works. If you miss a live call, always watch the entire recording of the call. They're right here in the membership site. Literally every call is in there, even all the previous calls that ever existed before you ever joined. So say you join right now, there are dozens and dozens and maybe even hundreds of calls. Shit, might even be thousands by this point, depending on when you're joining the group, of previous group men's mentorship coaching sessions. So check out the previous ones. They all have topics on them. So you could maybe go back and find something that probably help you out, because there's tons of valuable content and information in there in the previous calls. And if we ever need to switch up the times or whatever, then if we're off the grid for some reason, you'll always know ahead of time, but it's always usually going to be the same set day and time. Certain scenarios, it might have to change up, whatever it is, but we'll always have advance notice. And sometimes we might play around with it where one week it's not at the normal time, just to give other individuals a chance to get there live. Like, say someone's always working every single time. Like, as of this recording, it's Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That might not be the same when you watch this onboarding course, but let's say someone always is working at that time and can never make it live. So there are times we're going to instead do alternate times, a different time, certain weeks, just to give different individuals a chance to get on their live. So be prepared for that. You'll always know ahead of time if it's going to be any changes to the schedule. All right, so these calls are in a group call. I don't know why it says one-on-one in there, but it's a group call. And we usually go into starting off with a rating of your week, going over your victories or gratitude. So we're starting with the good stuff. And then from there, going into your struggles. What were the big roadblocks you had this week? What were the setbacks, the things that held you back during the previous week? And we will dive into that as much as needed. Sometimes I might take up a big chunk of it. Sometimes it might be pretty quick. Then we'll move into whatever issues we saw in your daily debriefs that you're posting. And you have the other module on showing you all about the daily debriefs. But these are basically self-reflection drills you're doing every day, 7 days a week. So I'm reading every single one of those every single day. So I'm pulling out different things that stand out, that look like there might be something that, you know, sometimes I'll respond to that daily debrief right there on the spot in the community. Or if it's a bigger issue, I'll say, you know what, and I'll copy that and save it over there, because this might be a topic we need to do a deep dive as a group with the other allies, with the other Freak Fathers. So we'll kind of dig into some topics maybe that pop up from your daily debriefs, if there were any. Then we'll review your previous week's goals. And this is a general idea of what it's like. It's not always this way, because sometimes there's bigger issues or bigger things you need to dive into, but this is a general overall idea of what a group coaching session is going to look like, what the agenda is going to look like. So we'll then review your previous week's goals. Your personal, professional health and fitness goals? Did you hit them? Why? Why not? Hold you accountable for them and see what went wrong or what went right. And we'll break that apart as a team, as a group. Then always be prepared to commit to new goals, a minimum of 3, meaning a personal, professional, health and fitness. And sometimes, depending on how much time we have on the call, if we have time at the end, we'll go around to each individual and they'll literally state their goals that they're setting for the week, their intentions for the week. So it's out there, it's spoken word. But then on top of that, you're also going into the community and you're posting your goals for week. So now it's seen, it's out there. You've said it on the call maybe, or maybe we didn't have time to do it. But if we did, you're still posting it over there in the group, your goals for the week coming up. And as always, be prepared and expect to be held accountable, to be asked tough questions, to become vulnerable, and expect to go freaking deeper, like always deeper, because it's usually, as men, we just start off on the surface level and we try to hide in the shadows and just there. No, fuck that. We're going to go a little deeper here in the Freak Father Alliance. And in order for these group mentorship sessions to have the most maximum effectiveness, you need to be completing your daily debriefs 7 days a week, because that a lot of times sets a tone for what are the trends, what are the commonalities, what are the common denominators from the different men's debriefs that is like, all right, this is obviously, it's popping up in a majority of the men's daily debrief. We need to be attacking this as a discussion on the live Zoom session. So complete those daily debriefs every day, and then also complete the weekly self-evaluation, which you'll see in one of the upcoming modules here after this. But this is just an overall general idea of what to expect in the group coaching call agenda in the Freak Father Alliance. And I will see you in the next module. And in case no one told you yet today, you are freaking awesome. No excuses.